Legends. Um, I decided to do this video based on a request of some sort, but I also kind of wanted to do this based on my own opinion and what I seen in action, what is more likely to be the best guns to use for zombie wise. So I know y'all asking why I am on multiplayer, and that's because zombies, at least for Advanced Warfare, didn't really have a gun loadout or anything like that to like Black Ops 3. So I'm using the multiplayer and my knowledge based on what guns were, in the 3D printer. Hello, hello, Alberto. How you doing? So, based on my own knowledge and facts on what I've seen were pretty much good guns to use for the zombies, I'm using the multiplayer. So, just a disclaimer, the zombies don't really have any variants or attachments to use along with the perks per se. At least not the perks that you see on here. But I'm using the multiplayer. It says Advanced Warfare Zombies didn't have something like this up to Black Ops 3. So I'll try to simplify it as much as I can too. So I apologize if I do find myself doing any long explanations, but I'll try to cut it short and simple. So assault rifles, basically the jack of all trades, good for beginners, but they can go places too. And some of these are in the 3D printer, which is the box of the mystery box in this game. But the ones I'd say that are quite reliable to get from it, and by the way, this whole thing is no particular order, but these are weapons I know that are good to get from the 3D printer or even the walls weapons that can get you to higher places. But um, assault rifles wise, they are good. We have the bow, we have the AK, we have the HBR, and then for the box weapons, the IMR is really good, surprisingly, for a burst weapon. And I believe it has a ability where after a certain amount of kills, you get some ammo back. So this is a really good weapon. But I believe the AE4 is actually pretty solid, surprisingly. Not really strong, but out of all the ARs that's in this game, at least zombie wise, this is actually surprisingly good. Not over the top, but it definitely could hold its own as a viable weapon, to say the least. The Bell, the AK-12, and the HBR3 are also good contenders as well, as they're able to keep up. And I believe the ARX is good too, though the MR is a little bit more better because of the the ammo capability it has. And yes, so pretty much almost every weapon that you see on here, basically the base weapons. Now I believe the MX-14 is there though, but I want to highly recommend getting it because it ain't really all of that. The IMR might be one of the best. Of course, like I said, the 84 is there, but I believe this is also a DLC weapon. So if you add the DLC, excuse me, this is probably worth getting. But yeah, now SMGs. SMGs are good for points, not really for high rounds. Although out of all of these, though, I say the three that are probably going to be your best friends in terms of zombies is the SAC-3, especially with the dual wheel mode it has going on for it. The SN6 is actually pretty good, but I think the SM1, of course, like its multiplayer counterpart, is probably the best of the bunch. Great ammo, uh, great range. Basically, this SMG is technically an AR of some sort, but it definitely holds its own. Now, the KF5 and the P11 is good, but I think they just good wall weapons for points. And the repulsor, I'm not sure if it's there though, but eh, take what you can get from it. And also, I should have put this as a disclaimer earlier too. Most of the weapons in AW are tend to be underpowered, but as far as I know, the weapons that I'm listed right now are the ones that are more likely worth getting. But yeah, for SMGs, the SM1 might be your best bet, but the SS6 is definitely a good viable contender. So, and then it's the SAC3. Snipers, may I say more? Great aim down sight, pretty much well versed in nearly every area. Now the Lynx is in there as well, and I heard that the Lynx in there in the zombies is actually not all that bad. But I think the Morse is actually just a bit more hard hitting and quite reliable. I believe the Atlas is also in there too, but I wouldn't hold my breath on it for too much. It's still a good sniper, but I think the Morse and the Lynx are the top two for sure. Shotguns, the Cell is hands down the best one besides the S12. That is. Now the S12, if you're not getting the Cell, and I believe the Cell is a DLC weapon of some sort. But yeah, if we're not adding in the Cell, the S12 is hands down the best shotgun. It's basically like the Bulldog, except this shoots way much faster and it's just way more reliable. I believe this shotgun is actually one of the best weapons in zombies in general. It can definitely get you the high rounds for sure. I can't say it can get you the crazy high rounds, but grabbing this and pack a punch it to the max, it'll do you words. Even if you don't pack a punch it to the max, just packing a punch it maybe once or twice within a few rounds, it does plenty. Blunderbuss is a decent one, but it's a high risk, high reward for that one. And then the attack is actually pretty good. I think all the shotguns are actually good, but the Astro takes the cake. But the Cell is technically like a wonder weapon of some sort, but it's also a weapon that you can commonly get for most of the maps if you had this DLC weapon or just the season pass. Now then, the LMGs are also somewhat meta as well. I wouldn't say it's the meta, but they definitely up there. It's one of the good ones. I believe the Ulm might be the best one of the bunch because it has a dual firing mode, and I believe the other mode is a shotgun variant of some sort. But if we wasn't adding the I'd say the Emil and Pytech is also the other ones. I believe the PM3 is also there, but I think it's the weakest one of the bunch. I'm not sure about the XMG though, but if it is though, it's actually not that bad. But yeah, but the Pytech and the Emil are like really good. The EM1 is stand, that's only like good for tickling the zombies after a few rounds. Good for early rounds, but weak for the later rounds. But this is actually probably gonna be your best bet. Although the Emil probably is more capable in more areas than the Ohm though. At least probably ammo wise. So yeah, I said the Emil is probably the best bet. The Pytech is like a good runner up, and then the Ohm could be somewhere in the top three. Special weapons, I know the Irons is actually good. It's the only one I know that's actually in there. I don't think the Ratio or the MDL is in there. Pistol wise, I know the PDW is there. That's actually pretty decent. I know the RW is also in there as well. That's a very hard hitter. Most of the matches you start off with this one, so I guess it's okay. And I think that's it. I know the MP443 Garch is okay, but I don't recall whether that's in there or not. And I think this is also a DLC weapon. I could be wrong, but that's just there. Now, funny enough, there is one launcher that's in here. It's actually the strongest weapon in the game. It's actually the Mayhem or the Mahem, whatever you want to say it. The biggest drawback is it does slow you down because it is a heavy weapon. And back then, I think before the later Call of Duties, but what's it? The weapon's weight uh does slow you down, but now I don't think it does it as much. And they've been doing that, I think, in future Call of Duty. I don't remember which one. I think it's between Black Ops 3, World War 2, or Black Ops 4. It could also done in the IW as well, but yeah. But Well, here though, I think this is probably one of the last few times where the weapon's weight would tend to slow you down, even with or without perks. But the Mayhem or the Maham is, without question, the strongest weapon again. Great splash damage, great damage in general. Uh, I think even if you take this to the odds boss fight, melts them almost insanely quick. Yeah, but the only downside is just the weight of the weapon, and I think the amount of ammo. But even so, though, if you can manage both of those, best weapon to have. And the crossbow, surprisingly, is the other runner-up for this too. Crossbow, I believe, also has good splash damage. Basically, it's the lighter version of the rocket launcher, so it comes in pretty clutch. I think the only drawback is because there's no PhD in this game, you're more vulnerable to take splash damage from this. But other than that, though, it's not a bad weapon. This is also a 3D printer weapon along with the Mayhem, which I'm just gonna dub it as. Both of these two, though, are probably like the strongest weapons in the game because for whatever reason, the explosives are actually doing what they're supposed to do. It's just straight up killing zombies instead of just, just weakening them to a certain point. Which is funny because most of the other zombie games you play that's not Call of Duty, explosives are tend to be like top tier weapons of some sort, but for Call of Duty, for some reason though, it seems like it's either LMGs, shotguns, or some other weapon. Sometimes explosives, but it's quite rare. But yeah, but long story short though, the crossbow and the mayhem, but especially the mayhem is by far your best threat. So yeah, I had to use the multiplayer because zombies didn't have any of that stuff until like Black Ops 3. So I'll probably be doing Black Ops 3 pretty soon with loadouts and gobblegum setups. That might pretty much work out. So thanks all for watching for the Advanced Warfare. Black Ops 3 will be coming up pretty soon, much sooner than you expected. And see you soon.